One of the things that I really struggled with when I went to the US was to make friends and beat the homesickness which I kept feeling. Partly, of course, because of the individualism in US culture. You don't even know who your neighbor is, and it was also partly because you do not know anyone over there in a new city, in a new country. Hi, I am Sanya, pursuing my PhD from IIT Delhi. I was a Fulbright Nehru doctoral researcher at Columbia University. I am here with another video discussing in detail what were the challenges that I faced living in the US. There were 10 things that I learned eventually, which I'm going to share with you now, which helped me to make friends and beat the homesickness. So the first thing is join the Fulbright New York City WhatsApp group, because it's a very active group where people often just initiate that, today we are going to the museum or somewhere, does anyone want to join? And then that's how you just go and hang out with those people and make friends. If you're not in New York City, then I'm sure that your city or your university will have a Fulbright group. Just find out about that. If there is no group, then just make a group. And Columbia University also has visitors WhatsApp group where people often meet up for lunch together. That was also a nice way for me to make friends and also not to feel alienated that I'm eating my lunch alone every day. The second thing that would be nice would be that you attend all the events that Fulbright is organizing. That's very good because it's an excellent opportunity for you to meet people from different countries, network and socialize. I must say that after my Fulbright experience, I'm a much more social person now, and I loved the experience. Fulbright also organizes these enrichment seminars where they fund you actually to go to a different city and learn about something. So for example, in my case, I went to Atlanta and learned about the civil rights movement and Martin Luther King Jr.'s history, and it was a very enriching experience which made me realize that Atlanta, which is famous for Coca-Cola and the aquarium, actually has a rich history of Black movement. You should join, say, university clubs and societies and attend their events regularly. Those are also good avenues to make friends. And I already shared with you in a previous video about attending classes, because that would be also a good way of feeling more rooted and connected to the university. Attend regular seminars, lectures and workshops that your university is organizing. That way you would not only academically network with people, but also if you meet people over and over again, you could follow up with them later and chat with them, and that is how you build friendships. If you are living in the New York City area, then One2 World organizes several events for Fulbright scholars and also for international students. So if you're a Fulbright scholar, they'll email you when you sign up for those events, and even if they are paid, I would highly recommend that you go for those events because they are worth it. Some of the events that I enjoyed were a cruise which took us around the route of Staten Island Ferry, and actually it went very close to the Statue of Liberty and we got some very nice pictures. I also remember that I participated in a downtown walking tour of Manhattan, which was also very nice, and our guide was also very knowledgeable. I also attended something called Dinner Diplomats, where they match you with Fulbright scholars who are based in New York City or in the US. They host you for dinner or lunch. It's a very nice experience. They select basically 4 Fulbright scholars and match you with 1 alumni, and you either go out to have dinner or lunch with them or go to their house. That was a very nice experience. I also love participating in other events such as feeding homeless people at night. And you could also join lists like Eventbrite and Time Out, because they give you a very nice sense of what are the free events or even paid events that are happening around the city. Another pro tip which I feel is very helpful is that before we even reach the US, try to reach out to people through your network whom you know over there. Just write emails to students in your department or students from other departments whom you think you could meet, and it would be interesting to meet and catch up with them once you reach. That way you would already know a set of people with whom you look forward to meeting with, and you would feel much better. I would highly recommend that once you actually make a good sense of contact, in the sense that you know a good number of people, just organize a picnic, maybe in a nice summer in Central Park or Bryant Park, or just invite people home and cook for them. That's also a very nice way in which you build rapport with people and form deep bonds. If you're lucky and you have good housemates, then another good way to make friends would be to socialize with your housemates. And I had excellent housemates. In fact, most of the time I navigated the city and roam around with my housemates. Go to other people's houses if they invite you, scholars, and of course if you feel safe. But yeah, it is also a good way of making friends. Don't be shy, try to reach out to people and be very active. And lastly, just roam around the city by yourself, because it's a beautiful city. Wherever you go, just roam around. If you're in New York like I was, then I enjoy doing a lot of things. Like Staten Island had a ferry where you can see the Statue of Liberty from a distance, and it's free. So that was a very good experience. I walked along Brooklyn Bridge, which was again a very beautiful experience. They have a lot of museums. I visited those museums like the Met, the Metropolitan Museum of Art. What happens with these museums is that if you have a student ID card, your entry is mostly free or you get some discount. In case they do not give you any discount, read the label carefully. Sometimes they'll say that we recommend you pay $20, but that is we recommend. So you don't have to pay $20 fee to enter the museum. You can just choose to pay, say, like $1 to enter the museum. And one tip that actually I learned was the Metropolitan Museum of Art has a library inside the museum. So I got membership for that library, which is absolutely free. You just have to register online and reach to the library with a printout of some documents which they have listed. And if you get the library card, you could enter the Metropolitan Museum and library anytime free without paying. And that's something that I did a lot and I really enjoyed. Although I'm not really into museums, but I would highly recommend that you visit these museums because their museums are excellent. Also Bryant Park and Central Park, just walk around these parks. Central Park has a beautiful lake in the middle of the park, and it's just amazing. You have 9/11 Memorial, you have the Oculus, you have some very nice buildings like the Shed, and there are some very nice walks. You could go to Hoboken, which is New Jersey, and just watch the skyline of New York City. It was beautiful, and of course it will be even more beautiful if you have a set of friends with whom you could explore all of that. Some of the skyscrapers in New York City, for example, even allow you to pay them some money and then go to the top floor and view the skyline, and it's very beautiful. Some of my friends did it. I've never done that though because it's quite expensive. Something that I really enjoyed doing was visiting Bryant Park Public Library, which is called the Stephen Schwartzman Reading Room, and it's a beautiful library. I would highly recommend you go there and just walk around there. Also Fifth Avenue, downtown New York City, it's a nice place to walk. It has many shops, so just walking across the streets, along the streets, it's a very beautiful experience. The Metropolitan Museum of Art, interestingly, during summers has its terrace open, so you could go on the top of the Met and then just view the skyline. That's for free, and that's also a nice experience. So I hope that the tips that I'm giving you would help you to feel more rooted and connected and be able to make friends and beat homesickness. All the best, and I'm sure you'll have an excellent stay. Take care.